Hello and welcome to Cosmic Roots Alchemy. This is Tanisha J. Today we're going to do a reading on Daniel Erving, the 18-year-old swim team member who drowned at a Texas lake. And now 2 teens are faced with charges of evidence tampering. However, the family feels there is more to the story and they need more answers to the questions that they have. But before we get into this reading, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping. First, these readings are not factual, and these readings are not meant for you to be in it as an advisement for health, financial, or mental issues. Only thing I ask is that you please use your discernment. Whatever that flows, allow it to go with you. What doesn't, let it go away. And these readings are done for healing and growth. And just for spiritual conversations, energetic conversations with the tarot cards. And before we also begin the reading, I would like to send love and healing energy to the family for the loss of Daniel Erving. And may they find the answers that they are looking for in their loved one death. Now, as we get into this reading, I already said he was an 18-year-old teen who perhaps went out with friends and did not return back home. Now we want answers to what happened that day. So to begin, I'm going to do a quick read around the energy that day of what happened to begin the reading, and then we'll go forth from there. Okay, let's see. Spirit, please show us what was the energy surrounding Daniel Erving the day that he went out swimming with his friends in Texas. What was the energy? It shows here third party. So let us know that there were other people involved as third party. That's the first card that came out. What was the energy surrounding Daniel Erving that day he went out to the lake, the Texas lake, with some friends? What was the energy surrounding that day when he went out? Alignment comes reverse. I look at alignment as seeing possibly he didn't really feel like going, but he may have nudged himself to go out or whatever, just to hang with some friends or whatever. Finances. Ooh. Hold on. So many cards coming out at the same one time. Trying to get at least. What was the energy surrounding? Ancestors are coming into the conversation. Jail. Is there any more energies? Jail. Ancestors. Close your mouth. Abusive. Energy of abuse. Physical, drug, verbal. Year. Is there any more cards to show us the energies surrounding Daniel Erving that day when he went out with his friends? Okay, I'm going to begin with that third party card showing. excuse me, with the third party card showing, that shows me that they already said they were two teams charged. So third party, that shows that there were people several people involved. Abusive energy, that makes me feel like there was some type of neglect that happened. So it could have been a conversation, had an argument, had or whatever, um, that was initiated. Alignment, I feel like maybe possibly he didn't, you know how you go out, you're like, I don't know if I want to go. Like somebody call you like, hey, come on out. You're like, I don't know where to go. And he just went because it was with friends. He was going to chill. He was going to just enjoy himself or relax. Choices, I feel like these are the choices that were made, bad choices in leaving him, in allowing him, because they're stating that he jumped in and they ran off when it happened because they didn't want to get in trouble. But there was the choices that they made when they could have very well stayed and helped. That probably can be the choices. Allegedly, all this is alleged. Jail, there may be someone, there was a unlawful activity that did happen, and someone may have to go to jail in order to for the repercussions of the choices that they made. Year, well, it may take a year. It may take a year. We because that's what it put out as, and it's close your mouth. So close your mouth, I feel like it's stating like it's a secret. There's a secret that they're not telling, um as the family said, there's more. So possibly there are secrets, someone not saying anything, they're not telling the whole truth. And finances, the finances card, I'm not sure what that comes into play, as in finances. Maybe something was taken or so, whatever. Jealous. Let's do um another additional quick read. Danger. Spirits. I feel like that spirit's possibly maybe talking about alcohol or so, or drinking or so, or something like that. Or maybe they just was enjoying each other. But spirit also, along with the ancestors, are saying they're here to speak, and to speak on what happened that day when Daniel Erving went out to the lake with his friend, to the lake, to enjoy a day. And let's see, is there any other messages, quick messages you want to tell us? Let's see. Hold on. The card did flip, but I can't see it. What are the other quick messages? What are the other quick messages you would like for us to know that surrounded that day? And also about the two people who, I know it was a roper, something of a roper, who was arrested. You're being watched. He possibly could have been watched. He possibly could have been watched. Justice is being served. So it's saying justice will definitely be served. Phone call. So it's telling us about maybe possibly there was a phone call between them or so, whatever, that was exchanged. Like I said, I feel like they possibly could have called him and said, hey, come on out and enjoy the day. Let's just chill for a moment, whatever, XYZ. But however, within that, hey, let's come out, let's chill for a day or so, whatever, probably was a trick to get him down there. But why would you trick a friend if they were supposed to be friends, if you're supposed to be just hanging out? So it possibly was a trickster type energy that fraudulent. Fraudulent, that to me, that means also lies. Ancestor card shows up again. Guilty. So those, let me see if there's any more cards that's going to come out. So far with the cards, we have the ancestor cards that come out twice. So the ancestors are definitely on top of the game. Stolen money. Maybe that stolen money will with that finances. Maybe they called him, allegedly, maybe they called him out to say, hey, come on out, let's chill, let's have fun. But all along they were planning on taking money from him, because there was a phone call. There was just showing like there was a phone call also. So it will definitely show exactly what all was said and what they were communicating. Stealing your energy. Gold digger. So definitely, this is showing possibly could have been unspoken truth. Let's see. I'm trying to get it. See if it comes up again. Let me try one more time. So, and again, it says unspoken truth. Unspoken truth can go close your mouth. Could close your mouth. So there are some things that are not being told. There are pieces that are missing in this story that needs to be told. Like they stated, there are more questions and answers, and it needs to be answered. It needs to be found out. And there is a court case you don't know about. Possibly it could mean that when I see this card, there's something along the lines that possibly the teenagers who they arrested for tampering with evidence, they may have some type of history of criminal history, allegedly. And I'm just saying allegedly, possibly with that card. And it's going to show that possibly they have a history of some type of criminal activity that has happened in their past, or something that happened to their past that's going to be brought to fruition. And it may help us to understand what all came together that day, because we're trying to figure out whether it was the energy, what happened. So as far as that, that's where that goes for the short read. And it says guilty. So, but we will wait. As we said, we will wait. We will see what all comes of the case. And all of this is just alleged. This is just the energy that surrounds that case and what currently surrounding that case as of now. Now let's go into the tarot read and see what the tarot cards has to say about that day and what surrounded and what happened when Daniel Erving went to the lake in Texas. So let's see what the energy has to say there. Let's see. I'm trying to figure which card was calling me. Let me try this card. These card I call my truth be told. It is definitely called Deviant Moon Tarot, but I call it truth be told because it really tells the truth about the situation and energy surrounding it. So we're asking Spirit, please, to show us what happened that day. What happened that day when Daniel Erving and I know the young man last name is Roper, but I'm not sure. Let me see if I can. Lucas Roper, because it was a 19-year-old arrested and a 16-year-old juvenile on suspicion. What all went down that day? What was the energy of everything that went down that day? There was some nefarious plans. That's number one. And that's Nine of Pentacles. Pentacles actually usually means somewhat what about some money or so, whatever. Look at this card. Like someone being led and pulled to a place. Look at that. Look, everyone's on top of him, and they're kind of pulling him towards a place. Like there definitely was some type of plan, nefarious plan, and they pulled him to where they wanted him to come to for that plan. And here the Ten of Pentacles come. The Ten of Pentacles come. And with that Ten of Pentacles, it's like there is a game being played. So to me, with that game being played, it makes me feel like they're not telling the truth. And there's so much more to uncover about what really went on that day. And anytime I see this Devil card, I feel like there was plan. Because look at the Devil tiptoeing. He know what he's about to do. He know what he's doing. And he's being sneaky about it. So therefore, this to me is like that shadow card of of you pulling towards your lower vibration. And like I said, now it falls under that Nine of Pentacles. But falling under that Nine of Pentacles of being a plan, being nefarious, a plan of ill intent, there goes that devil. That even posed that card even more close to tell me that there was an ill intent initially, allegedly, when they called to attempt to draw him to that lake. Because I feel like this is showing me they draw him to that lake. It was a game and they had this how they played that game. I hope you guys can see the card. I'm going to try to make sure I have these cards correct so y'all can see the cards. Okay, let's continue. What else was surrounding? As we said, watching. Possibly was watching him. Possibly, and when I say watching, it's not necessarily like watching. Like sometimes I don't know why I'm seeing when it says watching. Like you know how when someone texts you and they're like, "Hey, are you coming? You coming? You sure you coming? Dude, you're not playing us, right? You're not playing with us. Are you coming?" Like maybe there was the conversation in the text of, "Are you coming? Are you not?" Don't act like you ain't gonna show up, just to make sure that he came, to pull him there. And again, look at this Five of Pentacles, stealing, walking away, taking. Yeah, they did take. They did tamper with Zevis. I think they took his clothes or something, if I remember. I think they took his clothes and his phone. And with this card coming out, that makes me feel like it was definitely planned. It was definitely a deceit. It definitely was a plan that they drawn out for Mr. Daniel Erving. Look at that. Sneaking around. And also this, that mean a partnership, a plan that was made. That plan didn't go intended so well. It didn't tend so well. Look at this Knight of Cups coming. There was an offering, being manipulative with that offering. They probably offered, and when I say offer, I mean there's like a conversation that was had. I still keep seeing like there was a conversation had, like, "Hey, come on out, let's chill, let's do this," whatever, knowing well that they possibly had ill-intended plans for him. And because even with the the Seven of Swords, deceit, they had plans. They had already I would not be shocked if it comes premeditated. Once they get that phone and they actually figure out and do, I always say do, like, and I don't know if this exists, y'all. If they do a digital forensic on that phone, they possibly can see the conversation and see how he manipulated him to come out. Is there any more cards? Oops. Hold on. Is there any more messages you would like for us to receive about what happened that day? Is there any more messages? So that definitely what happened, and that surrounded that day. They were being sneaky about what they were doing. They were being sneaky about what they were doing. Pretentious and not telling the truth. And persuading him to come out. Show me the energy surrounding Lucas Roper, the 19-year-old. What is the energy surrounding Lucas Roper, the 19-year-old, who has been arrested? He stated that, I think he was stating that he tampered with the evidence and got rid of it because he didn't want to get in trouble, because he knew they would he would be in trouble and they would think he did something. But my question always was, like, when people say stuff like, "Well, why didn't you call? Why didn't you call the police? Why didn't you?" Because that would have showed that it was not intentful. That would have showed that you wanted to help someone, period. So that's always confused me. But anyway, show me the energy of Lucas Roper. Okay, this is the energy thus far. Again, with this card right here, is like, hold on, I'm going to put this here. Because with this High Priestess, it shows me that there's so much more information to be known. There's some unknown things. There's some things that's still being hidden that he possibly has not told them yet. There's more information. And with more information, I swear to God, y'all, with this Knight of Swords, because Knight of Swords is like, very much so harsh words. Like, you don't care. You do what you want to do. I swear to God, I don't know why when I first saw this, I first saw like a gun. I don't know. It feels like there was some type of apprehension or some type of threat or something. Possibly. possibly, when Daniel did come to the lake. So I don't know why I saw that. And every time I see this, with someone is at, like, there is a king, and then at the bottom, there's someone at the bottom, like that's their, like their slave or so, whatever. Like they're pushing them to do whatever, have them under the control. I always feel like that's someone forcing someone to do something. You're forcing someone to do something that is not of their free will. So show me the energy around Lucas Roper, the 19-year-old. Someone who pretends to not know everything. Someone, I feel like, the story that is told is a pretentious story. The stories that is being told is like, this would be the story I tell, because if I tell this story, then they probably won't be lenient, or they won't think, they'll just think it was fair. So I'm possibly thinking, because with this card right here, it's like, I don't care. And look at the water. Look at the water. Did he really try to help? Was he really trying to help? Here we go again. You calling upon, this is judgment. This is when you basically, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call this. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing here. I feel like, hold on. God, there's a lot of, hold on. My cards are so tangled. When my cards get tangled in like this, I feel like there's a lot to the story that's not being told, and they're trying to confuse people and everything. Because I feel like he's going to come back and he's going to say something. Like, there's going to be people coming back and forth and say, well, we tried this. Well, it's like pieces and pieces going to be coming to the story. And as the pieces come, as they say statements and everything, it's still not going to add up. It's still going to be like, nah, that's not what it is. That's not definitely what it is. And they're going to get caught up in their lies. They're going to get caught up in their lies. But let me go here. I'm trying to put a card where you can see it. But let me go here. Okay. Because we were left off on the judgment card. With that judgment card, he was an uncalled, like, that was his way of enforcing, let me get my thoughts together. Daniel Erving free will. He possibly, like I said, forced him, and I don't know why I said, like, it was a conversation or something that was being had. It was trickery that was happening, and he wanted to walk away from what he did. He's anxious. He's anxious. He don't know what's going to happen. He wants to walk away. However, he know what he has done. He know what he has created, and he's stuck with that decision and everything. He don't want to get caught, but however, there's evidence out there that is going to definitely show that he was a part of the accomplice that led to Daniel Erving's demise. So there is going to be evidence coming to show. And I feel like, because he's young, he's 19, that's him. But Pentacles for money. Like, it was all done for, like, and it wasn't much of anything possibly. But when you're so, look at that. False pretense of a celebration. False pretense of a celebration. And we get the 9 of Pentacles here. Nefarious plans. Things. Hold on. Did I say 9? That's like 5, 6, 7. 7 of Pentacles. Taking away money. Taking things from out of blood. I just feel like there are so many things. Offers that did not stand. And when I say offers, he was offering him, hey, again, I feel like this was the persuasion of, come on out, hey, let's have fun, let's chill. And he knew what he was doing. This wasn't it just happened and it happened so fast. I feel like that's the way it was allegedly. I feel that that's what it was. Allegedly, it was a plan. It was a plan, a thought out plan that he knew that this is what I'm going to do. But let's do one more cards, and then bless me. Oh, I'm sorry y'all about that. let's do one more set of cards, and then we'll do ancestor cards, and then we'll finish, and we'll be finished up. Okay, I'm gonna let Spirit talk and let Spirit tell us this everything surrounding. Again, look what comes out, y'all. We're talking about money debt. There was something about money being needed. Social media. Some things on that phone that can possibly click everything together, or what happened, why it happened, and how it happened. What that if they're able to locate his phone and find his phone. And it's not even about locate. I wonder if it's because, like I said, digital forensic. I wonder if, I don't even know if that's a thing. That's why I'm just calling it, because everything has forensic to it. So I'm wondering, even without the phone, if they still can detail what happened, because I think that phone would actually tell the story of what seriously happened, what was surrounding Daniel Erving that day, and what was the conversation between him and Lucas Roper. I feel like that is going to be the case. Okay. We go greed. Possibly could have been. Let's see. All right. Okay, spirits. Speak. We get a little bit of water before we continue. Hold on. Okay, spirits, speak to us, guide us, allow us to know what exactly went on, what was the energy, what happened that day with Daniel Erving. What was the energy? What surrounded? Cover up. As I said previously, it's a cover up, a story. Possibly it's the story that he's telling, like, well, I threw this away and I threw that away because I didn't want to get in trouble. Y'all, possibly, I don't know why I'm seeing this. The clothes got evidence on what happened. The clothes has evidence about what happened on there too. So the reason he threw the clothes, and he threw the clothes and the phone to control the story, because in his head he's like, well, if I clean up, look at that, clean up. If I clean up the scene, I make the scene look this way, I will be able to control the story. I will be able to say how things happen. However, it still will be a legal proceeding. He has charges. I know he has charges. Look at that party. I think I just have this feeling like he persuade him to come out, like, and it wasn't necessarily a party, like I think what they call it now is a kickback or so. Possibly what they had was like a kickback or so, and he was like, come on out, let's just enjoy the day, whatever, XYZ. He's regretting the thing that happened. He's regretting the actions that he took to hurt someone. Again, I don't know, this feels like such a manipulation. Abuse, neglect. The abuse and neglect comes from him not calling out for help when his friend went down into the water. Secrets. There's secrets out there. He has not telling the story. The whole story is not being told. Jealousy. There possibly was jealousy. As again, I said, I think he feels as if, you know how sometimes you look at people and they're well dressed. When you come out, they're well dressed. They look good. Everything about them seems like a line. And he felt like, well, he's from a good family. He got this. He got more than what I got. But you don't know the story. You haven't walked in his shoes, and you don't know how hard his father works to get to what he needs. Lies. Again, it comes lies, abuse, neglect, lies, mind control, cover up. I feel like he knew what he was doing. And with the organized crime, that made me feel like he knew what he was doing. He knew to lure him out. That's a different type of thing, to lure someone out. When you knowingly lure someone out their house, because you on demon time, you on the devil time, allegedly. That's what this whole energy feels like. Let me see, are there any more messages that needs to be spoken? Are there any more messages, excuse me, any more messages of what's currently surrounding? And with this fire, Don't be surprised if he comes to find out he damaged, he burnt evidence or so possibly. Look at that. When we say devil time, demon time, that comes out. Drugs, poison. He possibly could have been on drugs. I don't know. Or whatever. Homicide, death, justice. Justice will prevail. He will have to spend time. Charges will be brought up, and he will spend time for what he did. I'm praying he spend time for the right charges and not just the tampering evidence, because there's so much more to the story. It's so much more. Look at that. Fraud, money. There's more. And also with this drug and poison, I don't know what they're going to find on an autopsy report or whatever, but drugs and poison. But maybe drugs and poison could be alcohol. Maybe they were drinking a little bit or something. I don't know. But what's his name, Lord? He could have been on drugs or so whatever to lure him out, because that's not, I mean, no. I just got a huge energy of the word lure, like he lured him out. I lured him out to you lure someone out to do this to them. That's so, it's crazy. But that's all the messages. I believe that's the only messages. Or the clothes may be in some landfill. He threw it away. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. That's all keep coming to me. Allegedly. Allegedly, this is not facts. This is just us and tarot. We're reading the energy surrounding the case. And that's all. And I keep getting this card, but I don't want to put that card down because this card is a strong card. And it's something like, I think that young man, he's in such anguish and he's such a grief right now of what he did. And he know he shouldn't have done it. But the repercussions will have to fall on its own sword. The choices that you made, you have to pay that karmic debt of the choices you made and the actions that you took. Okay, this is the last card. I hope I didn't keep too long. I will make this quick. This is the ancestors speak. And so we're going to let the ancestors speak about this case, and we're going to let them say what they would like to say and what they would like for us to have in the message of what has happened to Daniel Erving. What is the message from the ancestors? What would the ancestors like for us to know? What would the ancestors like to guide us towards surrounding Daniel Erving case? Okay. Some of the cards are coming out. Okay, Strength Chief. I feel like with this card, because this is the Strength card, I feel like with this card, hold on. Let me see if one more card wants to come out. Okay, I'll use these three cards. I feel like there will be balance and harmony brought to the story. There will be truth that will come out, and I feel like the truth will come out because with with this card, Bound of Air, this is like the ancestors calling everyone out to speak their truth and for things to come to fruition, things to come to the surface, and for us to see the real story. So there definitely will be the truth of the matter story that will be coming out. And with this lion card, the chief card, strength tested. I feel like that. I don't know why I feel like that card is for like his family, his friends, and loved ones, his mother, and everything. Like it, like this is your. This will be tested, but to know that the ancestors are there and they will bring out true justice. They will bring, and it says peacemaker, persistence, um, persistent patience. So this case probably may take a moment, but they're definitely saying they will definitely bring out the truth and show the truth of what happened that day and bring justice to, yep, there that card is. I love to see that card come out because that lets me know. And even though they're saying being patient, they're letting know there's action right now and they're working on it to bring justice. Because this card right here always allow me to know that the ancestors are on the job and the ancestors are working for things to come, to be shown. And it said trust the truth. So the truth is going to get exposed. It will be exposed and it will be shown. I'm going to stop the reading right here. And ooh, look, this card came out. Radical truth. It's going to be shown. Things will be exposed. Everything will be exposed. But I'm going to stop the reading right here. And I thank you so much for taking the time to listen, taking the time out just to sit in, just have this conversation with Spirit about the Daniel Erving case. And again, we send out love and healing energy to this family. And then we hope that questions will be answered for this family so that they have peace, so that they have justice and their loved one is brought to justice for what happened to their loved one. And that is the end of us reading on that case. And I thank you again. And until next time, stay rooted in love.